Hey guys, how is everybody doing? We're back in action, back for more, back for the fun. Thanks for hopping in with us, you guys. We appreciate your flexibility. You're as agile as cats, some of you over there. You know who you are. We appreciate you. We're still in Denmark. We biked all day, and boy, like you got to step on the pedal, that pedal to the metal. I think they created that saying over in Denmark because if not, you'll get ran over by another biker. They move fast in this country. All right, you guys, we have such great information for you today. This tonight. This is our final 9 part series of the 9 really mentorship program, the 9 weeks that you guys have had. Now, listen, we know that repetition is important for the developing mind. So if you guys have not watched 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, you ought to go back after tonight's episode and watch all of the recordings again. You don't need to hear this once in a while. You don't need to hear this once and then it's fleeting. We need to really develop our mind, and that happens through patterns, right? Through repetition. And I always say it's easy to repeat bad things. How many of you repeat bad things over and over in your mind? Okay, we got to shut that business down and let's start repeating the goodness of God and the glory realm and the good stuff in our mind, right? That's the goal. And so I wanted to start off tonight. Again, if you got some more teammates, you can keep inviting them. Hopefully we max this thing out tonight. We want everybody on here learning and growing and realizing how they can take back their power. But the first thing I thought I would show you very quickly is something that happened with our boys. So you guys, how many of you know our boys are like super athletic? Raise your hand if you know that our kids are super athletic. Yeah. And Bo bought a wake surf boat last year at the end of the season. So rather than the boys come over to Denmark with us, they decided they were going to go to the lake to go wake surfing for a week, right? Great idea. And it was last night was it last night? Last night, maybe the night before. We got a text message from Bo.
Yeah, 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago. And Bo said, after the 1000th try, I nailed it. And let me show you the video real quick so you guys can see it. And as you know, again, Bo is an awesome athlete. Hopefully you guys know that. He's an awesome athlete. Let me just share my screen here real quick. And let me just show you this quick video of Bo. I don't know if there's sound. Maybe there is. Maybe no sound. That's okay. You don't need sound. You'll get the point. Watch it. Watch it. And that's called a 360 in the world of wake surfing. Do you see how I went in a circle? We'll watch it again just for entertainment purposes. So what he did, we'll watch it one more time. You guys ready? So here he is on the lake with his brothers. And they're on the lake from morning to night, guys. They're out there every day. They do this type of trick where they try to do a 360, which is watch it, boom. So the 360 is where he turns around on the board. And they do that without a rope. If you're not familiar with wake surfing, there's no rope. So it's kind of like you're surfing the wake. Okay, the point of that is, let me stop that now. The point of that is we all know that Bo is an incredible athlete. But people would think, why would he just get that right away? I mean, Truett, he nails one of those every time he goes out and goes wake surfing. No joke, he does. Truett, our middle son. Rocco, I don't think Rocco's got a 360 yet, but he's always trying. The point is, all three of these boys are tremendous athletes, right? And isn't it something that Bo did it? His text to us was on the 1000th try. And it got me thinking about our business. In fact, I said it to Mikey Hernandez. We were sitting at dinner that night with Meredith, and I showed Mikey the video, and he loves it because he doesn't wake surf, but he said, that's so cool. And he said that was the 1000th try. And Mikey goes, that's the start of a presentation. On my 1000th try, I nailed it, right? And so some people, how many of you have talked to 1,000 people? Right? Some of you have, and you've had great success, and you're sponsoring some, and some are not getting in, and some are getting on the patch and others aren't. It's okay, right? But some of you, how many people maybe quit after the second or the third or the fourth or the 10th or the 20th time? So Bo could have easily quit after 999 times. And he said to me, I said, Bo, and if Bo's on here, I'll have him unmute himself. But I said to Bo, I said, hey, listen, what did you do? What changed? He said, well, I wasn't going to give up. I want to do it because Truett does it every time we go out. And he said, Mom, every time I would try it, he said, I'd move my foot. I'd move my body positioning a little bit. I'd stand a little further up or a little back on the board. He said, I just kept modifying it until I hit that sweet spot. And I said, Bo, that is such a business speech you just gave. Because life is not about doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over and expecting different results. Sometimes you need to shift. Sometimes you need to wiggle a little bit, right? Sometimes you need to call a little differently. Sometimes you need to send a different video than you normally sent, right? Sometimes you need to start the conversation differently. How many of you guys would agree? So it's very important that you keep on moving forward and keep on trying until boom, on that 1,000th try, boom, you nail it. Right. And there it was. That's what just happened. So it's very powerful for you. It's very powerful for business. What would you like to say about that, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, and so Renita, have you landed a 360 yet?
No.
I haven't landed a 360 yet. And we're out there trying to. So, you can kind of get caught up like comparing yourselves to other people and like getting frustrated if you can't do what somebody else does. We see that a lot in network marketing where some people, seem to hit a rank really fast. Maybe they went manager in a day. And maybe you've been in for 90 days or 6 months. You haven't got a manager yet. You got to go find your first 4 people, but it's the consistency. And sometimes it is just doing the same thing over and over. And eventually it's, you break through. But a lot of times it's, it's shifting gears. It's making a small, having awareness. Like, what am I saying that might not be, connecting or resonated with somebody the way it should? So, great example. Love it.
Yeah.
We always love to see our boys having fun, but great example of, discipline, sticking with it, and eventually you're gonna have that breakthrough.
Yeah. Hey, do you guys notice my cute hat? I bought it here at the grocery store.
Wow.
Wow. Say it with me.
That's nice.
Wow. Because do you know why I bought this hat? How many of you went to convention, the This Is It convention? I sat in the front row and I don't know how many times the word wow came out of my mouth. Do any of you say the word wow more right now since you've been part of LifeWave than you've ever said the word wow before in your life? I mean, maybe it's the testimonies you're reading. Maybe it's the phone calls you're getting, the text messages you're getting. Maybe it's just the people you're around. I find myself saying, wow. Like sometimes it's a little quieter, like, wow. Like, wow. That's like amazing, right? Or sometimes it's like, wow. Like, that's awesome.
Usually it's wow. Like that.
Somebody. But the bottom line is I was like, oh, it's a hat for me because I say the word wow and I hear more wows than I've ever heard in my life before since we've been part of LifeWave. So are you guys in agreement with that? Do you guys hear or say the word wow? And maybe say it quietly or you're just like, wow. Like, it's kind of under your breath. Wow. So if you're a wow person, hey, you're my cat tonight because I believe that we're being called for this. After spending 5 days with David and Christina, we know that we are called to be part of LifeWave.
Raise your hand if you feel like this is something that you're being called to. Are you being called to better health for yourself? Like this calling, like I want to do this for myself, right? Are you being called to want to help other people? When you heard Renita for the very first time explain the benefits of activating your stem cells, who felt called to reach out to people in your life that you love and care about? Right? Financially, financial breakthrough. Who feels called to go after something? Maybe you're not where you want to be in life at your age financially. And so you feel called to something different than you're currently doing. You got to make a change, kind of like the wake surf. Like Bo just kept moving his foot around and his body around and telling the driver different speeds, a little faster, a little so, you're called to something different. As leaders, Renita and I aren't looking to push anybody into this because sometimes, you might feel like, well, where's Scott and Renita? They didn't call me. They didn't text me. We're not pushing you. We're looking for people who are called to this and we want to pull you and bring you along. And that's what we encourage you to do as well. You're going to look for people that, you're not pushing them into this. And we gave our presentation at the Next Level event about this. Are you called or you pushed, right? And so you're looking for people that feel called to greatness, who feel called to something more, that God, is inspiring you to get out of your comfort zone and have courage and faith and get after it and be consistent and make a few changes and do something different. And then we encourage you to go out there and find people that are called to this too, because people are called to this. When you do your part, you're going to find people that are looking because they're called to something better, different, something special, something rare. And you're like the answer to their call, right?
Yep.
You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just called.
Right.
This is what I'm praying about, right?
And I said this today. I said, there's a difference between someone being divinely downloaded and a white label product. Did you get it got like 12 likes, so no one really saw it on Facebook. But in my heart, it was really what God was telling me, that David Schmidt is being divinely downloaded. He gives glory and honor to our King. I'm just going to tell you, Jesus, right? And so this guy is, amazing, divinely downloaded, just very, very humble, very grateful, great, very generous, gracious. He's just an incredible leader. And so when you get around his humility, you'll understand what I'm saying. But the point is there's a lot of companies out there that are white labeling products. They're white labeling makeup. They're white labeling CBD. They're white labeling travel. They're white labeling all kinds of things. There's a lot of white labeled opportunities out there, right? We get approached with them weekly, Scott and I. A divine calling, a divine download. What do you think is going to do better? Just monetarily, let me just say this: a divine download where someone is being literally given ideas, divine ideas that are solving the biggest problems in the world, which are health. Number one, health is the number one biggest problem in the world. You guys know that? And number two, finances. So we have something with David Schmidt that's healing and rejuvenating and regenerating people. And it's not just people, it's kids, it's children, it's 2-year-olds, it's adult with autism, it's children with autism, it's horses, it's chickens. Mariah Preshaw sent me a picture of Mabel because now she's walking on 2 legs instead of 1, the chicken, right? So we literally are helping young to old and everybody in between because of the health benefits that go along with this patch. And for some, it's hard for them to wrap their minds around because they've bought deeply, deeply into the pharmacopoeia or the medical system. And I'm not saying we don't need the medical system at times, but we all know it's abused and overused, right? And the truth be told is when we're introducing a new concept, we are the pioneers. We are the wave runners. We are the first, we're the carriers of light coming into the darkness saying, hey, this is what it's all about, guys. And that sometimes for people is difficult because most have not heard or used phototherapy to heal their bodies. They've used drugs, right? And so the bottom line is, are you the pioneer? Are you the one being called? And today when I posted on Facebook that a divine download and a divine calling is much greater than a white labeled product. Again, which one do you think is going to generate more wealth? Let's just be honest. A divine idea, a God-given idea that's being given to a man and coming out of his mouth where he's humble and he's giving glory to our God, or just a white labeled another CBD or, weight loss shake. Like which one is gonna, and it really gets you realizing that a lot of people, they say they're about the health, but they're about the money. And Scott and I are about both. Because we realized today when we were biking on the cobblestone, it's way more fun when you're healthy biking. Because if we didn't have our health, we would not be biking on the cobblestone at breakneck speeds with these people, these Danish people. They're just amazing. So the bottom line is we want both. And we love that our product can be introduced to somebody by a 5-year-old. Ashley Rowland and Tommy Rowland, I love that couple. We love that couple. They sent us a video of their sweet boy talking about why you put the patch on. Because you want to be healthy. If the 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and 5-year-olds can share the patch, they don't have to explain it in great detail. They're not buying the patching protocol booklet and having to memorize it. By the way, people that are doing that are not making much money. And we heard yet again from David Schmidt say at the This Is It convention, you can really put this patch anywhere. So don't buy into the mindset that you need to get it just perfect and just right for you to have the breakthrough that you're looking for with your health. Literally, I just put it on my dog's head and neck and it works. That's how it works, guys. So don't feel, what happens is so many people, so many of you think that it's so simple that you feel like you want to be smarter than it. Well, I have to be smarter than put it anywhere. I got to be smarter than that. What I realize is that I don't need to be that smart. I just want to put it on, and I want a 2-year-old to be able to put it on somebody, and a 5-year-old to be able, and my mom to be able to put it on her friends, and Eddie for him to put it on his friends, and he's 97. You don't have to be the smarty pants of the group. We've got the smarty pants, and his name is David Schmidt, right? So we got to lean on that resource more than we lean on all these other outside resources that are not even on our team. Most of these patching protocol businesses are not even on your team, and quite frankly, in my world, they're a distraction. They're a distraction from the main goal. So I wanted to say that and clear the air with that a little bit, because I feel like a divine download is going to help way more people and generate way more income. And listen, you got to know the 101. Let me tell you, basic network marketing 101. Find a product that the most people in the world need and can use. Okay? Not everybody when we sold CBD could use a CBD. Not everybody when I sold weight loss shakes wanted to buy a weight loss shake, right? Not everybody wants to use or utilize these services or these products, right? But everybody in the planet can use, like Bo said, it's like so simple. It's like mobile. It's like a mobile patch. Like you take it with you wherever you go. It fits in your pocket, right, guys? You can put it anywhere. You don't have to be just perfect to make a lot of income here. You just have to be patching enough people is what it comes down to.
And I love, you've heard Renita's story. You've heard our story. And it's just authentic. It's just like the way it happened. It helps Renita's mom, Pearl, in 11 days. Now it's been 3 years and she does not have a tremor. Symptoms of her Parkinson's have gone away, just entirely, completely gone away.
Some of the symptoms,
but some of the symptoms are completely gone, right?
Yeah, gone.
And then Renita puts it on her dad. These oozing legs, the edema, the swelling, in one night, in one day, overnight, the next day. The swelling's gone. The bleeding and oozing, is dried up in one day, in 24 hours, right? Completely unrelated. Neurological and something, very physical, like in the legs, right? Completely different. Mariah, you've heard the story about Mabel, the chicken, completely unrelated to Mariah's text that I got about 45 minutes ago that said her mother with Parkinson's, her tremors have almost gone away. And then she stopped using the patches because she started giving the patches to her husband because she wanted him to get better. And the tremors are starting to come back, so she wants more patches, right? Yeah. Completely unrelated. Mabel the chicken and Mariah's mom with Parkinson's, right? And so we love that. Mariah said, I'm almost up to 40 people now. She went manager in 48 hours. When you recognize it.
I think already has won the trip. Mariah, are you tracking your points? Have you? I'm pretty sure she won the trip already, but now she's going for the 125, right? She's going for she's maxing out the trip because she's not a minimum gal. She's a max out gal, but I'm positive she's got over 80 points.
Kind of forgot my point there was just that, when you recognize that there's an opportunity, it's not selfish to go out there and be aggressive and find people. And sometimes you get tricked into that. I've seen Facebook posts, and Terry Beatley had just a beautiful post about, earning the opportunity to come to Copenhagen, Denmark, to spend time with the top 20 leaders in LifeWave, David Schmidt, who's the innovator of the year. And there were comments about, oh, now you're all about the money, and the trips. And so you can get tricked sometimes into thinking that, or other people's mindset or neural pattern, and it's just their subconscious. It's okay. We're not going to be affected by what they say, but now you're about the money. The money and the trips are a direct reflection of how many people you're helping. If we're not helping people, we're not earning money. And so I love that Mariah says, we've got an opportunity. I'm going to be aggressive. I'm going to carve time into my day. And we talked to Mariah, it's, 3:30, 4 in the morning. She's getting up, taking care of her property, training clients, like working hard. She's got boys, she has a family, and she's amazing, right? Yeah. But she says, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to be aggressive because I know that there's people out there called to something different. Because they want different results. They don't want to try another medication, the same drug. They don't want to do the same workout. They don't want to do the same things. And they're not going to get different results doing the same thing. So they need to shift. People are being called to that. So I love that we have so many stories about people that are really, really focused and being consistent. And when you do that, you're going to have great results.
Yeah. And if you're still thinking about the money, like it's all about the money, then you're missing the whole point. You're missing the whole point of this. Hey, if we have more money, we have more money to give away, right? Like Scott and I have had this conversation when I was pregnant with Bo, our oldest son, and somebody, I'll never forget it. I was a waitress at a restaurant. I was like 9 months pregnant, so swollen everywhere. And, a young mom, 23 years old. And I remember this doctor giving me $500 tip, a $500 tip. And he said, Renita, you work so hard. I see you running around here with this baby about to deliver. And I went home that night and I said to Scott, I said, this doctor gave me a $500 tip. I mean, we just wept. I mean, $500 for us was like rent.
Yeah, we just got married. It was rent, or it was like the whole month's worth of
No,
groceries.
yeah, because we weren't.
Well, we were just getting married.
No, weren't married.
We were just getting married. You know, we had just had Bo, and we were engaged to be married, and so it was like it was our groceries for the month.
Right.
You know, it was everything we needed at Target for the month. It was life changing. That generosity that someone, you know, blessed us with. Thank goodness that person had resources and wasn't afraid to earn income and then be a blessing. So it's one of the reasons now that we're challenging each other every day, you know, to be more generous and to earn more from the spirit of wanting to give more. That's the foundation of our desire to have more resources, for sure.
Okay. Anyway, the bottom line is when you have more, and I said to Scott, I want to give out 100, 200, $300 tips to the Uber drivers, to the pregnant waitresses, to the people with a smile on their face that are doing their job well. I want to be a blessing to those people. I want to shock them with just kindness of a tip. And maybe you say, Bernita, I don't want to give a waitress a $300 tip. Then don't. We do.
And we're not bragging.
We're bragging. That's not bragging. No, that's just our hearts that we want to do that.
In fact, we're
going to do what you're going to do.
We want to do better. We want to do more.
We said, we actually said yesterday, can you imagine if we give them $1,000?
We said 10,000. Can you imagine if someone just, you know, expecting mother who's 9 months, you know, 8.5 months pregnant is a waitress at your restaurant? You know, what if you give them $10,000?
Come on.
Why stop at $100 or $1,000 or whatever?
Why are we limiting ourselves?
There's no limits in your generosity.
There's no limits in God's kingdom. Let's just say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the next thing I want to show you is I do want to find out, and maybe some of you want this, and maybe some of you don't. Either way, it's okay. But I have to share it because it is so much fun. I want to find out if you guys. I'm going to show you a quick video here. And I want to find out if you guys want to win this. Okay, are you guys ready for this? Let me show you this video. Share and share sound. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what David Schmidt taught us because we are beyond fired up. And Scott can actually explain it better than even me. I'm not going to be as good as him. He's so good at it. We've talked it a little bit so far. Are you guys ready for this? Did you see this post? Now, maybe you guys saw these. Steve Merritt had this great idea. Can you guys all see that? He had this great idea to get this, and it just happened to freeze. By the way, I didn't freeze it on this. That's how God works. That's how the Lord works. I did not freeze it on our son, Bo Brannon, and this video somehow just froze on Bo Brannon. So there we are looking at it.
Can everyone hear us?
Can you guys hear us? Are we froze? All right, you guys with us still? Okay, so you can hear us.
Yeah,
so the bottom line is we didn't know. Steve Merritt said, hey, we're going to give away a little trophy for those of you that are like, you know, thank you, have earned $1 million in the business or whatever. And we were so excited, but we were even more excited when we found out Bolt was in was getting this award. And then we found out it was like this really amazing wrestling belt, like the WWE, WWF. And maybe I just love that because my dad, Rick, used to watch WWF wrestling, Macho Man Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan, right? So maybe it's because it's from my era, but I love this thing. It was so much fun when we got it. And I thought, I want our entire, first thing I thought is, I saw Bo walk across the stage and get it. And I thought, you know, Truett's going to get this belt and Rocco's going to get this belt too. That was my vision I had because this is a generational wealth opportunity. It's not just for the parents, it's for the children and the grandchildren. And that got me, I mean, I had chills all over my body when Bo walked out. I was so happy. And then I thought, I want as many people on our team that want this $1 million belt to get this $1 million belt. Now listen, desire has to come before the earning of it. If you're saying, I don't want it, don't worry, you won't get it. Okay, I want the belt. When I saw that prize, I like trophies. I like fun. I like joy. I like laughing and dancing and just fun. I love it. I love it. I think it just heals your body. It says joy is good to the bones in the Bible, right? It says that the messenger of light will bring joy and healing to our bones. You guys know it says that? I think it's Proverbs 25:13. It says that a messenger whose eyes are filled with light. The light is the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is love, joy, peace, kindness, gentleness, self-control, goodness, mercy, grace, kindness, abundance, right? That is what does light coming out of the eyes look like? Joy, joy. The joy of the Lord is our strength, right? You guys with me? Anyway, so when I saw this, I'm going to play this quick video. You tell me if you want one of these belts. Put the comment, I want a belt. If you want one. And again, if you don't, you don't. I want another belt. Make a $2 million belt, Steve. I want that one too. Make it $3 million. Check it out. Can you imagine Lynn Robinson on the end there? She lost her husband, right? You think she's happy she got that $1 million belt? Her husband's in heaven. You think she's happy that she's blessed financially and that she doesn't have to worry? She has those 2 boys to take care of. Come on, guys. Get the belt is what I got to say. My mom used to say that as a kid. Nita, Rick, get the belt. That's what they'd say. They were going to give us lickings with the belt.
It's a different belt.
That was a different belt. Okay. This is the $1 million belt.
That was motivation, though.
It was motivation. It was motivation. I remember when our kids were kids, I actually would get the belt and I would never, I think maybe I hit one of them once, like jokingly with it, but I would take it and I would snap it like that because it made that loud noise, like to scare them. I'm gonna come after you. And they're like, Mom. I'm like, oh yeah, the belt. Anyway, the point is this is a whole different belt. Hopefully you guys want the $1 million belt because the more money you earn, the more people you can help. Now, we're gonna get quickly into the thing of this is you've got to have the vision. You've got to have the vision and the drive to go out and really want to do this, right? And if you don't have that, then nothing's going to change in your life. You have to have the passion. You have to have the desire. And if you guys have the desire to earn and build, I want you guys, did you guys just all see that video? Was I sharing it correctly? I hope I was. We're still getting used to this new computer. So offer us a little bit of grace. Offer us a little bit of grace on that one. Let me, I don't know, were they seeing that movie or was it just me, Scott? Can you tell?
Saw the
No,
video.
we saw it.
We saw it.
Okay,
Yeah.
let me shut that up. Thank you. And I'm going to pull up something very quickly that we're going to go through. And Scott's going to start out by sharing a little bit about what we heard with David Schmidt, because I want you to really understand David's heart. David is such a man of God, and has such a powerful vision, right? And the vision, and sometimes the vision, he can't let everybody always in on the vision. So if you're saying, well, I wanted to see what happened, why did they put those phones in that Faraday cage bag? Well, I thought the same thing. Trust me, I was thinking about ways I could try to sneak it in, but I think they had double eyes on me because they knew that I might have been a threat to sneaking that phone in.
Somebody watch Renita.
Yeah, somebody watch Renita.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the bottom line is we're talking about tonight, having a vision increases your passion, okay? And this is really important because we're going to talk a lot about David Schmidt right now and what we witnessed, what we saw, what we felt with his heart, with his soul, with his who he is as a human, who he is with his wife. But vision acts like fuel for the heart and mind. And if you guys if you don't have a vision, you know, in the Bible, it actually says without vision, the people perish, right? You guys have heard that before. So what I want to say is when you have vision, what it's going to do, first of all, it's going to give you clarity. And we've talked about clarity in these 9 weeks already. But when you can see where you're going, your brain and emotions begin to align toward that future. The clearer the picture, the more excitement and momentum you feel. Do you guys remember the first week? I think it was week 1. I had you guys write down a paragraph. Unlimited paragraph, no limits, no stopping you, no one saying, oh, you can't have that, that's too much money. I said, write down how big you want your team to be, write how many people you want to serve, how many people do you want to be blessing, how many miracles do you want to see on your team, how much money do you want to earn, write down a weekly dollar amount that you think would be awesome to supply you, your family, your parents, anyone you love and care about, the patches, right? Start figuring this out. Make it a big, big vision. It doesn't have to be restricted. We restrict ourselves with our own mindset, which we'll get to in a second. But the clarity is going to create energy. And how many of you wrote that paragraph down and have been reading that paragraph? I pray to God you've been reading that paragraph 2 to 3 times a week. Scott and I continually expand that vision, don't we, Scott?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had the opportunity out in Copenhagen to experience firsthand David Schmidt's vision. And so I think it's one thing for us to have this like abundant vision for ourselves. And that's what Renita challenged us all to write down on a page. Sometimes, the more you think and say it, so that's why Renita's saying, I hope you're still saying it 3 to 5 times a day. I would guess that a lot of you aren't. I would guess that you started saying it 3 to 5 times a day. You did it the first week because that's what we challenged you to do. But the second week we talked about a little bit less. The third week, a little bit less. And so maybe you've stopped doing it. So go back, find.
Maybe there's some of you that are doing it.
Yeah, find those lists. So if you are doing it, great, because that's what we want to continue to do. I wouldn't be surprised if there's many of you on here still doing it, but go back to your vision, your big, big vision. But what we learned from David is sometimes when you experience somebody else's vision and they show you something that you didn't even think was possible, then it expands expands your vision outside of yourself.
Right.
You no longer even think about, it's no longer even about your big dream and your big goal. It's actually about like, oh my gosh, like anything's possible.
Right.
Like I might have been thinking of a dollar amount, a certain number of people I want to help, or the trips we want to earn, or certain family members that have a certain disease that the doctors say, I'm thinking about all these things that I want to help. Then all of a sudden you see someone on our team have some sort of breakthrough with their health that you didn't expect. And you're like, wow, I'm even playing. I'm expecting this vision even greater than what I'm at. So we're able to go to this event in Denmark with David, where they're actually the Prince of Denmark, Prince Joachim, who's the brother of King Frederick. So there was like royalty, at this event. So there was like this big event right before all of the LifeWave brand ambassadors came in. There were dignitaries from over 10 different countries,
11, I think,
across the world, at the event. And so they were there, asking questions. We said to David, what are they asking? These are the best aeronautical engineers in the entire world. He said, they didn't know what to ask because they saw something they've never seen before.
Wow.
They saw things that they didn't think were even possible. Multi-fuel drone engines that can run on diesel, petroleum, wind, or solar power.
Wow.
Or any combination of it. They saw a drone that's being created right now with a top speed of 400 miles per hour. Fixed wing drones that need runways to take off on, and then vertical propeller drones that don't need a runway, that can just lift right up and can hover, right? They can hover, take off, and hover land. They can fly for 30 to 40 hours, way longer than other drones. They can carry hundreds of pounds of weight. So they can be security at the border. They can deliver, important, medical supplies and goods
and patches
and LifeWave X39 patches to people that desperately need to be rescued and need to be helped. They have infrared below or beyond concrete imaging. So imagine an earthquake where people are covered by steel and concrete. The imaging devices that are on these drones can penetrate concrete and steel
to see the heat of the bodies of the people buried
and recover and save people, right? They have technology to fly these unmanned drones and these trailers, these mobile trailers that are the ground control, with these kind of like goggles and headsets that they look like they're right out. We felt like at times that we're in a movie, like we're in a sci-fi movie, but they're actually showing us functional technology.
Us room and showed us every engine, every drone. At one point, one of these engines, tell them the horsepower thing. I don't remember.
Yeah, so
any gearheads in the group here?
So all of the drones are being built for humanitarian, benefit. He said for peace, not war. It's amazing.
Peace only.
And then really, and it all started because of love. It started because of love for David and his son Matt. He wanted to work on a project with his son. His son had a passion and wanted to build something. And David said, let's do it. And, David, in very much like David Schmidt style, didn't take credit. I mean, he just said, this is, he's like, I'm not the person that's coming out here saying, oh, this was easy. And he introduced and gave honor to all of the people that were, a part of the journey. These brilliant minds from around the world, right? So all of this to say,
it started with humanitarian purposes with a friend of his that was in the business like 20 years ago. When this man, I can't even think about it. He's like 80 some, and when he had such a spirit of mercy. Have you ever met someone with a spirit of mercy or empathy, like where they just feel deeply?
Yeah.
I could barely listen to this guy talk. I couldn't pull myself together. It was not without crying. He's an old friend of David's. He's like in his 80s. And he said to David, if you're making this much money, you've got to be giving back, David. This is like 20 years ago. And then they started their very first giving, and they gave to Hurricane Katrina. And this went on and on with all of the different things. And then when this man spoke about all the places that they gave, one day David said about 5 years ago, he said, no, there's going to be no recording of this. We couldn't even take our cell phones in. That's why we're trying to share with you right now what happened. So hopefully this is recorded. But, but basically he said what happened about 5 years ago. David said to this gentleman, this older gentleman who was like head of the giving. I mean, they've give all of these soldiers that have received Purple Hearts. They got the patches. So LifeWave has received like the Purple Heart Award with the military. I mean, we can go on and on. I mean, this old guy sat there by memory, enlisted this. And then about 5 years ago, David said to the guy, how do we know all the money we're giving to the Red Cross or these organizations is getting to the people we need? How do we know it's getting there? And he said, well, we went back and they did this thing where they found 90% was actually be given to the hands and the feet in the field, the people, like the resources that was needed. But David said, are we sure? You know what? Maybe we should be delivering these resources ourselves.
Yeah, he wanted accountability for the financial giving. Because of the amount of integrity that he has.
Right.
Right. So it's just really remarkable. And he said, so if we create something that nobody has, and we give that to someone, then we just know that what we're giving is being 100% utilized, right? So just really remarkable. But all of this to say now, and you think about this too, 5 years ago, it wasn't even on David's radar to create a drone. Now he's created a drone that can do, and by the way, the drone that can go 400 miles per hour has stealth technology. So undetectable coding, like invisible flight, below the coding, below the radar. So like invisible flight for drones, right? So he's creating things that like Lockheed Martin, the best aeronautical engineers in the world, didn't know that was possible, right?
Now
so
let's
it's really amazing
how this can benefit you.
And so to fast forward how to benefit. So
I'm going to say to you, I cried. I couldn't stop crying. Like, and I'm not much of a crier. I said to Scott, you know what's happening to me? My head to my heart, my sensitivity. I was so sensitive to the spirit that, I mean, I want to cry right now.
yeah.
I just couldn't stop crying. It was so powerful what David is doing and the vision that he has for us as brand partners and our children and where the future of this company is. It is not like a hype. He's not a hype guy. David is not a hype guy at all.
I think the emotions come from really experiencing people in their gifting. I know for Anita, like if she experiences somebody really, truly like in their gifting, it can be emotional, but also like this really deep sense of gratitude.
Yeah.
You know, this appreciation for the gift that we've been given and the not just the opportunity, but the responsibility that we have now, right, because we're aware that these patches can help people and create these miracles, that we got to go after it.
It's a calling.
You know, it's a calling. And so, you know, David didn't stop with these drones because he probably even, you know, in his own kind of humble nature thought, well, am I doing this just for, you know, for myself and my family, for my son, Matt? No, we're going to give this to the Red Cross. We're going to give this to organizations in need. But what he's doing now, he's using that engine, these multi-fuel engines that can run from petroleum, diesel, solar, and wind that are in the drones. He's moving that into home energy generation, home energy generators. And so he actually had the actual home generator, and he talked about the time frame and the number of patents that are already on all of the technology built into the generator. And he turned it on and he said, how many of you are gearheads, like, you know, like to work on cars? Like, you know, a lot of guys in the room kind of raised their hand, and he asked the guy, you know, what kind of car do you drive? A Mustang. What is your Mustang red line at? Like your RPMs, like, you know, where does it stop? You know, be able to really be efficient with, you know, putting that accelerator down. The guy said, you know, maybe around 5,000, you know, and I just looked it up. You know, a Mustang can RPM all the way up to like 7,500 RPMs. So you drop the accelerator to the floor and the engine just starts like racing, right? And 7,500 RPMs, and all of a sudden, you know, that engine is getting super hot, right? All of a sudden it goes from kind of being in that sweet spot of like, you know, 120 to 200 degrees, and it's like really efficient and working well, to it's red lined, and it's just getting like super hot. It goes to 250, 300. David said almost up to 500 degrees Fahrenheit. And so he said, I want to have a really amazing demonstration for you. So he turned on this home generator that he utilized the same engine that he put in the drones, right?
It's the same engine he put in the drones, guys.
And so he turned on.
By the way, it cleans the air while the drones are flying. It's cleaning the environment.
It does so many things that defy what people think are possible. And so he said, one by one, with this engine running, like full blast running, And this generator able to produce over 20 kilowatts of energy, which is more than a typical home needs in 1 month. Right? So not only as soon as this home generation system will be available, and it's not going to be for 5 years. I mean, you think about the commitment and the vision of an inventor and an investor has to go into developing products that are going to change the world for the benefit of, it's going to be a LifeWave product. And it's going to be way down the road. So we're not going to get too, lack of focus
or home generation systems
of what the opportunities the X39, but you're a part of an opportunity where you've got someone, when he says generation, it's not cliche. He's not saying this is a generational opportunity. He's saying we're going to develop products that are going to change the world for generations, and you are going to be able to use the products, help other people with these products, and experience financial windfalls that completely change your life, right?
Right.
And so what we did is we lined up, and with this generator, with this motoring, just like running full blast, we went by one at a time. First of all, out of the exhaust, we were in this enclosed room, and clear air coming out of the exhaust.
There's no smoke coming out.
Not like a car with like CO2 or it's cloudy or anything.
David said it wouldn't be a good business strategy if there was CO2 coming out of here and I'd kill off my best brand partners. It'd be a poor business strategy. Yeah. So we're in this enclosed room, and he's got the motor running. You can't see anything coming out.
So it's amazing. So, and it's actually, he said, they've done tests where the air coming out of the exhaust is cleaner than the air in the room. So it's literally cleaning the air. So talk about green energy, tax credits, all these things, all these countries around the world. That's why there's 10 or 11 diplomats from all these countries wanting this. So he said, one at a time, place your hand
on the engine
while it's running. And he let it run for a while. And he's talking, and he's telling us about the testing and the patents and the innovation.
One at a time.
And the time frame and everything that's going on. One at a time, we placed our hand on the engines. And it was room temperature. There's no heat coming off of it. So then he talked about the benefit of having an engine that doesn't overheat, and the wear and tear and the lack of maintenance involved and all of these things.
Because heat is what breaks down the engine.
And it's absolutely amazing. So not only as soon as you turn this on in your home, will you be unreliant on your utilities. You're completely off the grid. You are no longer paying a penny to your utility company for the energy that your home needs to heat and supply electricity to your home.
That's the best part.
But you're supplying units of energy back into the grid, back into the system.
That means that the system is now paying you.
So you're making money.
So you're making money. So your entire system is utilizing this power source. But because you're not using all this power source, it's pushing it back into the grid, and that is now you're being compensated. This is unbelievable stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody in the nation will have this technology in their home if they have a brain in their head.
Yeah. So he talked about it actually being, and Meredith Burkich was there, of course, the president of LifeWave, who we absolutely adore and love. I mean, she just keeps getting stronger and more amazing. She's so committed. She is such a hard worker. But she said, that LifeWave product is, you have a LifeWave binary tree where people are experiencing health breakthroughs with their patches. They're just going to be able to order these home generations, and it's going to be like a completely separate business. She said, like right now, if we're doing $1 billion in sales, we'll go from 1 billion to 5 billion. It'll be 3 to 4 billion more just in home generation units, because everyone, when they learn about it, it's just like no one will pay for utilities and they'll make money.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be amazing financial windfall for anybody who's involved over the next 5 years to build a really big team. But what I love about this too is, that kind of like very visually, kind of like explains the innovation. Sometimes when you look at this patch, who has said to you when you introduce the patch, well, I just don't get it. Like, how does it do that?
How does it do
I don't understand how it can, activate my stem cells. It doesn't make sense to me. Are there drugs in it? Are there medicine in it? Are there somebody else's stem cells in it? Do I have to put it on a certain meridian on my body? And David says, just stick it where it hurts. Like it seems so simple. I don't get it. Those same type of questions and statements were being asked by these world-renowned experts that are saying, I just don't understand how that's possible. And Dave said,
just don't get it.
Well, let me show. So David was
understand.
So he'd say, well, let me show you. Let me explain it to you. Let me show you the patents. Just like our ability to say, well, let me show you the patent on X39. It stimulates the GHK copper peptide. We're not injecting copper peptide. Your body's creating its own copper peptide with the stimulation of your body's infrared heat and light. I know it's hard to explain. David makes it seem really simple. I'm sure it's very complex in the human body.
It's called Thunderstrike.
Yeah.
And I said to Scott actually came up with the tagline for it. you know, how many of you know when the thunder strikes, you guys know the lightning is coming, right? How many of you know that? You hear the thunder and then boom, you see the lightning. And I said to Scott, you know what with the tagline, I got up to the front because David gave us all this very special award that he made out of some metal that doesn't even exist that he made for us, this Thunder Strike Award. And I said to Scott, when I got up there to shake his hand and Christina's, I said, David, Scott came up with the tagline, Thunder Strike, here comes the light.
I'm not sure that's exactly what I said.
Right, getting
Yeah.
this, it's all about the light, right?
Yeah, the light comes after the thunder, right? So I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. You know, super thankful, obviously.
Oh,
You
light
know,
moves faster than sound. So maybe I'm saying that in the backwards way. Maybe that's why he didn't think it was that great of an idea. I thought it was the other way around. I thought we heard it and then saw the light. No, you see the lightning and then hear the thunder? I can't remember how it goes.
sight then sound. Yeah, you see the
Lightning-
gun smoke and then the
Light
sound
is
goes up.
faster
Yeah.
than sound. Light
Yeah.
travels.
Well, there you go. Because the phototherapy light patches came before the thunder strike. So there you go. Thanks for working that out
Thanks
for
for
us. Appreciate it.
Okay, so now I want to get back to this quick presentation so you guys are understanding. So the reason he brought us over there was to show us that this is like not slowing down. We're only speeding up. The patches are what we have right now. Many of you have the water filtration systems. They're actually going to be, all of you have access to those in the next coming months. Hopefully you get that email. You have a 3-day window to purchase the X2O. It's not H2O, guys. It's X2O. It's literally clean filtered water with the double carbon filters. He puts hydrogen into the water. It's been shown to do mitochondrial repair. It's a specific frequency in the water, infused light water. It's literally light water with an infused frequency that is the same frequency as lobster blood, which the lobsters never age. They only get stronger as they age.
So if you notice the trend with the inventions that David Schmidt is creating, when we say it's not a Me Too or a white label, he's creating a new species of water. He's creating a new drone that's never
It's a divine download.
existed. He's creating a home energy generator that no one thought was possible. He's creating phototherapy patches that do things to the human body that, you know, it's like Dr. Joseph Peck's the greatest scientific breakthrough of my medical career, right?
Yep.
So this is what's happening. This is what you're a part of. You're a part of something really, really rare. You're a part of something really special. And that's why, we have so much enthusiasm. And,
Because without vision, it's easy to drift, guys. It's easy to procrastinate, right? You need to have focus. Today we were riding up our bikes and there was a gal that was getting literally undressed. Like literally, she was like nearly naked standing there. And I'm looking at this woman next to the water. I'm like, wow, that's how they do it in Denmark. They just like strip the clothes down and put something else on. Meanwhile, I said to Scott, wow, that lady's completely naked. And he was looking the other direction. And he said,
and I said, wow, I didn't even see that. I was watching this teenage boy, probably 13, 14, and he had his younger brother who was probably 4 or 5 on his shoulders. And I was thinking to myself, that's what I noticed. And I was thinking to myself, wow, what a great brother.
yeah.
Like his younger brother was tired, he's probably crying. He said, hey, bro, get on my shoulders, right? So whatever
he was looking at the boys and I was looking at the naked broad.
Yeah, so whatever you shine the light on, whatever your focus is, right?
It's like a flashlight.
That's your perception. That's your reality of life, right? So we could have been on that bike ride, and this wasn't our whole focus, but Renita could have thought, oh, that was gross, the whole bike ride. It's like, oh, I can't believe the trashiness, right? And I might have thought, wow, people in this country are amazing. They're family focused.
Get it, guys?
So whatever you shine the light on, that's your reality. That's your perception.
What are you shining the light on right now? Are you shining a light on the problems of your business? Are you shining the light on the solutions of your business? So without this vision, you're going to have drifting. You're going to be distracted. I always say distraction. The longer you are not focusing with intense enthusiasm, you're going to have distraction. You're going to see this opportunity, that opportunity. Maybe this one's better. Maybe that. You got to get focused. You're drifting. I'm telling you, friends, if you are not having a vision, it says without a vision, people perish. You are drifting. And that is a wicked place to be because you will drift here and there and everywhere. You're losing your way. People are losing belief in you. They're losing belief in the product because you're not focused. So I want to tell you.
I want to say something really quick about that sharpness of focus. And I'm not sure, it's not something that I can really have prepared for tonight's meeting, but I just came to me and I wanted to share is, LifeWave has built close to a $1 billion revenue company on an X39 patch that activates stem cells. That's $100 per month. So when we get this new innovation, like this X2O water, David Schmidt himself says this increases the benefit of the patches. So when he talks about the water, he goes back to increasing the benefits of the patches. It's about what the patches can do to the body. So I know that there's people on this call, and when you share, this X2O water machine to other people, they might say, well, I can't afford a water machine that costs $5,000 or $6,000. or maybe you're on the call saying, right now, that's not within my budget to spend $5,000 or $6,000. I want you to stay laser focused, because $5,000, that's like 5 years of being on X39 every single month. 1 month of X39 at $100 for a year, that's $1,200. 4 years, that's $4,800.
So you don't need the water is what he's saying.
Yeah, so 4 or 5 years of being able to use the X39 patch every single day. This is the laser focus that we can have. And so don't get distracted if all of a sudden you feel like, selling something that costs $5,000 or $6,000 can be hard to do. Talk about an X39 patch that costs $150 retail, $100 wholesale. Help people earn enough money to pay for that product so they never, ever, ever quit. And then find the people that are called to have financial breakthrough.
Yeah. I got news for you. Just go check into a hotel anywhere in the state that you live in. North Dakota, Minnesota. Go check into a hotel. Stay there for 3 days and tell me how many people you see walking around that hotel with the patch on. That's all you got to say. We haven't seen a single person here other than us until we patch them.
And we always say, go to the grocery store and the next 100 people, how many do you see with patches?
We're going to say go to a hotel. You know why?
Even in our
people from around the world.
Even in our own community, but especially around the world, nobody has heard this secret that you have.
Right.
Like this powerful message that's going to change lives. No one's heard it.
Yep.
And some of the people heard about it, but they heard it from the wrong person. They didn't know, they didn't know this is a team, or they didn't really know David Schmidt. They aren't hearing these stories or seeing these testimonies.
I want to get to this as a team. Yeah. So a vision isn't just internal. When you start speaking it with others, it sparks passion in them. How you know you're on the right track, guys, with this patch is people come back and they're like, wow, wow, wow. They want to know more, right? That energy bounces back to you, magnifying your own fire. This is powerful. So vision is the spark, but passion is the flame. So the more detailed and compelling your vision, you got to get a clear vision of what you want. If you haven't taken out that sheet of paper that we did week 1, do it tonight and write down no limits, no boundaries. Whatever you could think, ask, or possibly imagine should go onto that piece of paper about what you'd love the next year, 2 years, 3 years, and 5 years of your life to look like. It probably involves LifeWave. It probably involves your health. It probably involves finances in your family. I'm assuming it, right? But make it the biggest possible vision you can ever be, because the bottom line is where there's no vision, the people perish. Okay, so we need you guys to get the vision of where you're going with this thing. Do not be distracted. Delay equals distraction. Get to it already. How many of you in the last week talked to 3 to 5 people a day? That was your assignment last Sunday. 3 to 5 people a day. I want you to comment in the comments if you reached out to 3 to 5 people a day. I had recorded that great 25-minute video. I want to know, did any of you sponsor anybody in the last week? Let me know in the comments if you've sponsored somebody in the last week. Did you sponsor 1 person, 2 people, 3 people? Mariah probably sponsored 10, right? How many people have you sponsored in the last week? Okay. The next thing I want to show you is the most incredible tool that Steve and Gina Merritt gave us, and they gave it to us at a convention. So if you weren't at a convention, there's still an opportunity for you to go to thisisitconvention.com and actually get that resource, get the 45-day recorded. Do you know how to get off of there?
Yeah.
The 45-day recorded recording of This Is It Convention. So if you have not yet done that, you need to go get that, because that's a very, very powerful for tool. That's not the right one. Let me help you. It's a very powerful tool for you guys to be able to continue to work your business and grow yourself. So I want to show you the beautiful video. Now, this is never, ever, I repeat, never, ever to be shared on social media.
How do you make that happen?
It's
I mean, how do you keep people sharing it?
it's speeding. They usually don't, and plus they have to. It'll be taken down.
Oh.
We should have said no. Anyway, there we go. There it is. Give me a second. So this is the video that these guys have created for you, and this should only be shared through text messaging. Go ahead, Scott, tell them how.
Yeah, direct messages, right? So this is something to say, hey, I've got something for you. You're going to send this link via text message. You're going to send this link through a Facebook Messenger. So private messaging, right?
Okay, that's the only way. That's the only way it's to be shared. Okay, guys? Can you see it yet?
Yeah. Are you trying to turn it on?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
You got to go back to here. Let me do it while you continue to tell them how they can share it.
I mean, just so direct links, guys. So it's not going to be on public. We're going to send a direct text messaging, direct Facebook messaging. You could do on Zooms like we're doing now for people on your team. Yeah, so bring it, honey. Let's go right here.
No, you have to go to share.
I
You
know.
have to go
and-
share
and-
sound.
Okay, we're gonna go here
Yep.
and here, and then we're gonna click pause for a second.
Yep.
Yeah, now we're gonna go back to Zoom and we're gonna share with sound, right?
Yep. All right, here we go.
Okay, share.
Share. Let's see if we got it. This is their video that they created. Sorry, we're still getting to know this new computer. It's tricky. Here we go.
In a world searching for answers, one discovery is changing everything.
Can you hear the
A
sound?
patch, no bigger than a quarter,
Yes, it's low,
Yeah.
but yes.
treats symptoms, but to wake up the healer
Yeah, up here.
inside you.
Fine.
This is X39, a
Excuse me.
wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world? It's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisitinfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself
Seeing this.
and, even better, to benefit from other people's efforts.
Yeah.
So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology, this is the team, and this is your moment. This is it.
I don't know about you guys, but boy, does that video get me fired up. So listen, we've seen and felt and heard the vision of David Schmidt, and we're going to get more of him and Christina tomorrow. We can't wait to spend the day with them. We know and feel and understand the vision of Steve and Gina Merritt. We love and honor that couple. We have such tremendous vision today as we're biking through Denmark, getting lost, ending up in an Italian cafe, parking our bikes. We're like, this is so awesome. Like, our lives are blessed and highly favored, and we want everyone who has a desire to do this, to share this, to come with us on these great adventures, to change lives. Again, this is not a white labeled product. This is a divine download to some gentleman who has the humility and grace to give it to all of us. Imagine if David Schmidt would have never used the model of network marketing. Imagine if he would have sold it at GNC. None of us would be here right now, right? The bottom line is we are called for such a time as this. And remember, we are the number 1 and 2 things in the world. The number 1, tune. The first problem of the world is health. The second problem of the world is finances. We have a solution to both. And it's not just for a certain demographic, those who want to lose weight, those who want to travel, those who want CBD, those who want, makeup, skin stuff. This is for everyone, from the babies with eczema to the granddads that are busting out of the nursing homes, to the athletes, to the young, to the old, to those that want weight loss, to those that want weight gain, to the horses, the cats, the chickens. I mean, we got everybody patching, guys. This is powerful. And when you understand, and when you really, really, really understand network marketing, key number one is, who are you serving? We are serving the planet. We're in 80 countries globally, guys. It's a tangible product you can carry with you. I can take this little patch off. I can carry it with me everywhere I go. I can show and share everywhere I go. I don't have to worry about a computer access. I can talk it. I can have a child talk it by saying, you want to be healthy, put this patch on. That's how easy our business model is. You guys, these are so powerful. So we have lots more yet to say. We have been loving this 9 weeks. And so the best is yet to come, guys. We love you. We believe in you. We know that you are called for such a time as this. And we pray that you're feeling that pull from the Holy Spirit, that calling that God is laying on your life to impact the masses with their health, the primary need of the world, especially after the crazy pandemic, right? We pray that you're feeling that call, that pull. We pray that you don't have to be pushed every day, but you feel that pull. The only thing stopping you is your own limits that you're setting on yourself. The only thing stopping you is your only fear that you've inflicted upon yourself. And if people are inflicting fear upon you, you got to quit hanging out with those people. Those are the wrong people. You got to hang out with the glory people, the ones that are pulling you up, the abundance people saying, you know what? Cut it loose. Whatever's holding you back, cut it loose. Move forth, right? God is going to bless the journey. Keep moving on, guys. Anyway, we are being called for such a time as this. We love and appreciate each and every one of you. We got to get off because we got to get on the 6 ways of earning. If you're interested, that meeting is going to be like right now, as soon as we hop off. But we love and appreciate you guys. The best is yet to come. Thanks so much for being flexible with our traveling schedule. We love you. And Scott, any final words?
Yeah, just thank you so much. I mean, just appreciate you all. And really what LifeWave, is missing is the best version of each one of you.
That's right.
Right. So just, encourage you to keep growing. I got a message from
Hey, Dot.
John Getz,
Yeah.
one of my good friends. John Getz, and he said, hey, Scott, I'm down 17 pounds, right? Just, I'm committed to getting healthier and healthier and inspiring other people. So, continue to grow and read the books. And, this mentorship has been great because we can hold each other accountable, but your best accountability partner is yourself. It's like when you look at yourself in the mirror,
I'm trying to figure out how to stop it. I really don't know how. There.
Oh, let's see. Sorry,
Oh,
somebody,
I didn't do it there.
Go ahead.
go ahead there, whoever's.
Do you want to share something? Paul?
So is
Hi,
she
Paul.
Like Zoom or something?
I think so.
All right, Paul.
Anyway, so
Go be the light, you
Yeah.
guys. Share
thanks for being on, everybody.
Be the light, share the light. God bless. Have a
Are you
great
ready?
night, everybody. Bye.